It was confirmed that Doom: The Dark Ages will be launching on the PlayStation 5, PC, Game Pass, and next-generation Xbox consoles day one, although we still don't have any additional information on the game's exact release date. However, Xbox's head of content Matt Booty recently explained why a lot of Microsoft's upcoming releases don't have a solid date, which inadvertently narrowed Dark Ages' expected launch window and even opened up the possibility of the game being delayed to 2026. During last week's episode of Variety's Strictly Business podcast, Booty clarified that Xbox-owned studios are not only trying to avoid overshadowing their own releases, but they're also attempting to work around Grand Theft Auto 6. I think many across the industry are of course going to plan around GTA 6, and we're all looking forward to the game, which should be amazing. Certainly everybody in the industry wants to make sure that we don't land in the shadows of someone else's big release, but we just need to keep options open. He also stated that they're working hard to make sure every game is given space and has got an opportunity to shine. I think the issue is we don't step on ourselves. We have a pretty big lineup through the fall and through the spring. So when we leave actual months and days of a month open-ended, that has as much to do with the fact that we're looking ahead and making sure we do the right planning so we're not getting in our own way. While Grand Theft Auto 6 currently doesn't have an actual release date, Take-Two Interactive CEO mentioned that they're aiming for fall of 2025 after a rumored internal delay seemingly pushed the launch window out of the spring season. With this in mind, it's fairly safe to assume that we'll be getting our hands on a lot of next year's Xbox titles within the first 6 to 8 months, possibly including Doom: The Dark Ages if the game is ready. When Insider Gaming published their highly accurate leaks back in late May, it was stated that the game has been in development for at least 4 whole years, so a full 2025 release sounds like a pretty safe bet, right? Well, yes, but also no. Going under the assumption that they started work on their next title around the time Eternal launched in March of 2020, progress was likely minimal as they created the Ancient Gods and other post-launch content during the global pandemic. Even though id Software was still working from home during the development of Update 6.66, they may have been able to invest additional resources into Dark Ages leading up to Eternal's final substantial content drop in October of 2021, when more job listings started to appear and the medieval prequel presumably went into full production. 2.5 years of full dev time combined with 1.5 years of less substantial work may seem like a lot on paper, but the ambitious nature of completely reinventing Doom without using the previous 2 entries as a foundation has likely lengthened the overall workload to some extent. During various interviews with media outlets like GamesRadar and IGN, game director Hugo Martin mentioned that the team still has a ways to go, suggesting that it's not as far along as some of us previously imagined. We are at an awkward stage where we have enough information to know that a summer 2025 release isn't unrealistic, but we don't know enough specific details to determine if a delay is likely. Doom Eternal only took around 4 years to develop despite being met with several roadblocks like the 4-month delay, invasion mode troubles, and the substantial combat overhaul that resulted in the extremely innovative gameplay we all know and love. It seems like Dark Ages is further along than Eternal was during the initial E3 2018 cinematic teaser, but at the same time Eternal also probably could have been revealed with a very brief, highly scripted gameplay trailer, so we may have a lot more than just a single year of waiting before we get to continue our fight against the armies of darkness. If they're not able to produce a finished product before the fall season begins, there is a chance that they'll have to push the game back to 2026 to avoid being crushed by the newest entry in Rockstar's best-selling series. We will likely get a solid launch window once Grand Theft Auto 6 receives a concrete release date and more Xbox Studios titles find their place amongst the company's yearly schedule. Until then, just know that Dark Ages could be arriving in early summer of 2025 as long as things go smoothly during the remainder of development. Updates on the game's soundtrack and potential mod support have emerged. Click on the video that's on screen now to learn more. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed it. That's pretty much all that I have for now though. Until next time.